everybody, it's Robin and welcome back to my channel. Today on the Robin's Nest we are going to be making a pretty little cake for a very special little girl. It's going to have rainbows and butterflies, a unicorn, a mermaid, and even a little pussycat too. All the little things every little girl loves. So let's get into it. So for today's cake I baked up 6 8-inch vanilla cake grounds, and as you can see I've colored each one a different color of the rainbow. Now my cakes did bake up nice and flat, but there are a couple little bulges I do want to take care of. So I'm going to grab my cake leveler and run it over the top just to make sure everything is nice and even. Then I'm going to grab my cake board and we can start stacking and filling. Alright, so to fill our layers and our crumb coat, we're going to be using some white American buttercream. Now I chose to go with white because I wanted a little bit of separation in between each of my rainbow colors, and I thought the contrast between the white and the rainbow colors would really make them pop when the cake is cut open. So we're just going to start by taking a little bit of buttercream onto our spatula, and we're going to spread that on our cake board to secure our first layer. Now starting with pink, working our way all the way up the rainbow till we get to purple, we're going to stack and fill our layers. Alright, so normally at this point, once I've filled my layers, I like to trim off all the caramelization on the outside of my cake. But these layers are so thin and baked up so quickly, there was hardly any time for any caramelization to form. And I'm okay with the tiny little bit that's there. So we're just going to leave that for today, and we're going to go right ahead and do our crumb coat. So I'm just going to apply it using a small offset spatula, and then I'm going to smooth it all out using a plastic bench scraper. So now that we've finished our crumb coat, we're going to pop this off in the fridge to chill. Now I'm going to want this to completely firm up and crust over before I do my final coat of icing, so I'm going to leave it in there for at least 30 minutes. And in the meantime, while we're waiting, we're going to mix up some rainbow colored icing. So to color our icing, I've separated it into 6 separate bowls, each bowl containing approximately 1 cup of icing, except we have 2 in this bowl here. Now my reasoning for this is because this is going to be for the color that sits at the top of our cake, and we're going to have to cover a little more surface area, so we're going to need a little bit more icing. And if we follow the rainbow sequence inside the cake, that actually is going to end up being purple. So to color our icing today, we're just going to be using a variety of Wilton and AmeriColor Gel Colors. Here we have Wilton Rose, a little bit of AmeriColor Orange, Lemon Yellow, Leaf Green, Sky Blue, and then more Wilton Violet. Now we're just going to be using a tiny dab of color at a time and mixing it up really well, trying not to make it too bright because I'm going for a nice soft look. So now that I finished mixing up my colors, I'm going to go ahead and do my final coat of icing because I want to get this in the fridge to chill for a little while and firm up really well before we add any heavy fondant toppers. So starting at the bottom, we're going to begin with pink and work our way all the way up to purple at the top. Now I'm not going to be too careful or worry about being messy while I'm putting my colors on because I want them to blend together a little bit anyway and create sort of an ombre effect. Alright, now that I have my cake fully covered, it's time to smooth all this out and blend all my colors together. So I'm just going to use a small plastic bench scraper, and we're just going to go all around the outside of the cake until we're happy with how it looks. And then once we're all finished and we have everything nice and smooth, we're going to get this back in the fridge to set. So the first decoration we need to make is our rainbow topper, because this one's going to need the most amount of time to dry because it stands on top of the cake. So I've already added some tile powder to each of my rainbow colors, and we're going to roll out some long skinny snakes, piece them together, and to make our rainbow take shape. Now you can use an extruder if you have one at home. I don't, so I'm just going to be using my hands today. Alright, there's my cute little rainbow, and I think it looks great. I'm really happy with how it turned out. So now we're going to set this off to dry, and I'm going to put mine in a food dehydrator for approximately 1 hour, maybe a little bit longer if I think it needs it. So if you're not going to be using any form of heat to dry yours, I do suggest you make it well in advance. It's going to need probably 24 to 48 hours, maybe even more depending on the humidity, to fully dry and firm up. So we're going to get this off to dry, and when we come back, we're going to work on a little unicorn, a kitty cat, and a mermaid. So for my decorations, they are slightly complex, so I'm not going to go over them in great detail. However, I will try to keep them as simple as possible, and I'll show you a few highlights, and then I'll show you what they look like when they're all done. Well, here they are, guys. They're all done, and aren't they just the sweetest? I think they turned out perfect, and I can't wait to see them on the cake. Now, my mermaid is leaning a little bit. She doesn't want to stand up perfectly, so I am going to insert a toothpick in her. But besides that, we're ready to add all of our finishing touches, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Well, here it is, guys, my pretty pastel rainbow cake with all the little things every girl loves. I know this would have been my dream cake as a little girl. heck, it may even still be now. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you like it as much as I do? If you did, you know what to do. Leave me a big thumbs up and lots of love in the comment section too. And if you haven't done so already and you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you receive a notification every time I post a new video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.